Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm gonna go through each of the new ArkPro flashlights from Olight. We're gonna do our beam shot and just talk about them. So here we go. This is the ArkPro Light. So this one is the light. It has 3 different uses or modes, whatever you want to call it. This is the standard just flashlight mode. It has a decent like hotspot in the center and then some flood around it, spill around it. It does not have a separate setting for flood and throw like some of the other ones do. So it just has the light. Then it has a red secondary type light that you can go low and high on. You can see here, this is on high red, and then this is on low red. So I'm not going to do too much with these secondary ones just because it's, straightforward. You can triple tap and you'll get a sort of beacon deal. And then let me see, can't do anything else with that. 1, 2, 3. I don't think a 1, 2 does anything. No, does a hold, just comes on. So that's what you get with that. And then on this side, so you flip the switch over to the left to get the secondary. You switch it over to the right and you get UV. And there is, again, a low and a high with that. It's a very, dim UV. But that's kind of how they all are. So that must be a reasoning for that. Don't think there's any special modes. 1, 2 does nothing. 1, 2, 3 does nothing. Holding from off is just going to turn it on low. Then we'll get high again. So you guys all know how UV works. So that's that. And then we have the light, of course, in the center. And just so you know, I'll show this in the tabletop portion, but the ArkPro light is actually smaller and lighter than the other ArkPros, which is cool, in my opinion. So let's get to the lowest light here. This is your lowest light. Well, let me confirm if there's a moonlight. Yep. So here is what we're going to call moonlight. And it's pretty dim. Barely lighting up anything in front of me. Would be good for a moonlight, concept if you're in a bedroom or something like that. Doesn't even reach the tree over there. It is barely lighting up that sign, which is a pretty good indicator, honestly. So the next setting here is going to be, I believe, low. Let me just confirm that. This would be medium. This would be high. Yep. And then you'd have turbo, of course. This would be low. Or this would be, sorry, hold on. Moonlight, low. So barely reaching that tree, about 30 feet away. We are hitting the sign a little bit better, but still, it doesn't have a ton of throw. It's a little bit more flood right now, a little bit more spill. You guys can just listen to my rambling potential bullshit. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree with anything I say. But the idea here is for you to see the light in action, okay? So then here is your medium setting. Now I can see the yard decently well. It looks way brighter on camera. Hopefully you guys know that by now. If you don't, take out your flashlight and your phone and go out at night and record something and you'll see what I mean. It looks 10 times brighter, I think, on the camera on my screen right now than it does in real life when I look over the top. So it does light up that tree a bit, but not as bright as it looks. The street sign is obviously lit up really well now. And this would be a good usable like walking light or something like that. This tree gets a little bit of action. Not bad. We're not going to get a ton of throw, like I said. If we come over here, it barely reaches that tree to the right there. It's not hitting anything else like the arborvitaes behind it, the little ones, or any of the trees in the background there. Here is high. So now We are lighting up those arborvitaes a little bit, so we're getting a little more throw. Yeah, it's reaching the trees past that, like this big tree right here, and a little bit of these like evergreens or whatever those are. So pretty decent there, lighting up the whole house. The tree is totally lit up. Looks very good. The whole front yard, there's a ton of flood on this. A lot of spill. Again, it's not very hot spotty, right? You can see as I back up here, it basically just turns into flooding. But this is definitely a usable flashlight. I like it. Now I'm going to see if there's a turbo. There is a turbo that gets even brighter. We'll see how long it lasts. It's probably going to be like, you know, a minute, 10 seconds to a minute or something like that. But it is rather bright. And I can see the whole backyard. Side yard, the trees. I can see everything to my neighbor's house, which is cool. So good to see that. And it does last quite a bit. So I'm going to actually turn it off here. And we'll turn back on this setting. It did not get really hot at all. It's just a little bit warm. It is cold out. It's like 35 degrees. But that is the ArkPro Light. So that's the first one we're looking at here. I got to figure out which one I have in my hand now. This one is the Ultra. So let's do that one last. Try to do this in some kind of order so it makes sense. Here's the other one. Okay, so this is the ArkPro now that we have. Pardon my switching here. My hands are getting really cold. I'm actually going to grab some gloves. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have the ArkPro. So this is your flagship in the ArkPro series. And this one has 4 different modes, which is pretty cool. You're going to have the UV setting. That's all the way to the right. Then you're going to have the center setting here, which is going to be your flood setting. Then you're going to have your left setting, which is going to be your spotlight setting, which is very cool. And then you're also going to have a button on the side. I'll show you all this on desktop, so I'm not going to go crazy here, but I do want to show it. And that is going to give you a laser. Now, you can use the laser with the light or without it. I keep missing the button. Where is the button? There it is. So there's your laser. And I was messing around with this earlier with my daughter. It has some good distance on it. You can see it all the way to those trees. Now, I will say, I think we'll test it, but I think the Ultra has more power on the laser. I don't know if that's a thing. We're going to find out. Where's the laser again? Throw it over to those trees. You can see it back there. I mean, you guys know how these lasers work. They go really far. And they're pretty cool. I was doing something interesting earlier. If you kind of bounce it off the truck, and then if you aim it at like a headlamp or something, it just bounces around in there. It's really cool. Just be careful, because it seems like it is kind of sometimes bouncing right back at me. So I'm just trying to be careful. I'm looking at the screen. But it's kind of fun to put the laser into different light sources and kind of just see what it does. You can see it just bouncing around everywhere there. Down there, that's really cool looking. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys that. Get rid of that. Okay, so here is the UV. This one is, again, going to be pretty simple, low and high, and no other settings or anything like that, okay? Then you're going to have your floodlight. And you can turn it off and hold for moonlight. Here's moonlight on the flood setting. And it is a moonlight, so you guys understand the deal. It's not very bright. Good for bedrooms, stuff like that. It's very dim, which is good. I would use this one over the spotlight moonlight because you're probably going to get less light with it. kind of disperses it more. Kind of makes more sense to me, but anyway. Then here, let me just confirm. Yeah, this is a lot brighter than the other one, I think. This is low. And here we go. It is lighting up that street sign a little bit. The stop sign, sorry. Not really hitting the tree at all. Over here, this tree is a little closer, and yeah, it's not even really doing anything to that tree. So let's bump it up. Now that tree is getting some light in person. It's not like lit up like a Christmas tree like it is on the screen, but it is doing the job. Almost covering the whole front of the house, including a portion of the garage. So the flood is good. It's got a lot of spill covering the yard, but again, it's not throwing it very far. Like it's barely getting to that tree over there. I don't know if you can see this, but there's some crazy shit going on in the sky tonight. Must be some like solar storm or something. And I apologize, I am sick, so it's hard to not sound like shit. I'm actually gonna walk over here and see if we can get a better view of whatever that is. Wow. Now in person, I don't see anything, but on camera, it looks wild. That's really cool. Anyway, just in case anybody cared about that, we'll walk back here. This is the medium setting. Very nice. We're getting brighter now. Very good flood here, as you can tell. Or yeah, flood, sorry. My whole truck is lit up. Whole garage, whole front of the house is really lit up right now. You know, the kids could be out here playing. They'd be fine. One reference, I don't know if anybody makes sense of that. The tree is good. Yeah, we're getting to that tree over there, but those arborvitaes behind it are not really getting hit at all, just barely. And it's not really doing much to the further trees. It's kind of lighting up the area, but not doing much. That was high. Now Turbo is going to blast it, I think. Yep. Absolutely like daylight out here. Straight ahead. Tons of flood. Definitely brighter than the last one. So that was the flood modes. Let's see what we get on spotlight. So moonlight, man, my fingers are freezing. I'm terrible at winter. So funny. Like it's 35 degrees and my fingers are like about to get frostbite. And I've been out here for like 5 minutes. It's terrible. And I have gloves on now. I should have put them on right away. Anyway, moonlight, spotlight, as you can see, you're still getting some throw out of it. And that's why I was saying, I think, you know, in a bedroom or something, you might be better off with the flood moonlight. But then again, this could be good because it would just direct the beam where you're going and not try to throw light on somebody else, which could be useful. It is hitting that sign a little bit. So here's low, nice, hot spot. I like that, a little bit of spill. Climb the tree there, looks good. This tree, right? Not too bright, but it's directing the light really well. We're not quite getting those arborvitaes. So let's bump her up one more. Now we're getting them. Very nice. Very, very nice. See, we can reach those evergreens back there, that tree over there. I don't know how far we can go. Oh yeah, it's going across the street. Wow, that's across a cul-de-sac and it's getting there. On high, it definitely gets there. You can see that basketball net really well. Trees up high here. Try not to piss off my neighbors, but I don't even think it's 10 o'clock yet, so it should be okay. Yeah, reaches all the way back to those trees. That's crazy. Much less visible for me, but it is a thing. So let's try turbo. Almost doesn't do turbo. There. It just kind of makes the hot spot brighter. Yeah, now I can see those trees really well. Same thing over there. Very cool. So that was the, which one was that? That was the Pro. Now I'm gonna grab the Ultra though. My hand is like frozen, dudes. So this one's gonna have the same setup. I think this is the Ultra. Let me just check. Nope. This is the, that's the Light again. So what's this one then? Wait, this is the Light, right? No. Okay. So here's the spotlight. You have the UV light, and then you're gonna have the laser on the side. So same exact setup. I don't know if anything's different. I think it's just the I think it's just the material that you're getting. Honestly, that's really bright though. Let me see if put it on this mode and go to turbo. Yeah, I think it's the same. I think you're just getting the OAL. That's what I'm going with here. I'm just gonna do turbo because my hand is frozen and I don't want to be out here any longer than I need to be. But let's check that laser out. We did want to talk about that. So let's see. I'm gonna drive it over there. Yeah, either the, nah, it's the same. It's the exact same. Okay, laser's the same, confirmed. All right, that's it, guys. That's your beam shot for all of the Ark Pros. Wanted to make sure I gave you guys that info. So thanks, guys. Catch you in the review. Hey guys, Kev here, and I have the Mini Marauder. This thing is an absolute beast. So this has, obviously, it has this bottom light that you can use, and it has a dial on it. You'll see all that in the tabletop portion of this, but has that dial, so you could dial it up. Left side, obviously, is giving you the indicator of your brightness. Right side is your battery. I did fully charge this puppy. So it has that, which is really cool. And then it has this little switch, so we'll slide it over, and now we have flood mode. Okay, so you have a flood mode, and then you have a red. So actually, sorry, this is just flashlight mode because it has another party trick. You could push this switch, boom, you have a, I mean, it almost seems like an LEP. I'm not sure if it is, but it is an absolute beast. Very directed beam, which is super cool to see on the Marauder, because I'm pretty sure the Marauder was just a crazy floodlight. I don't know if it always had that spotlight ability. Now you can use both. If you go to this middle setting, you can use both. So I can shine it over there. I get that beam, but I also get the flood around it, or I can just hit the beam. Very cool. So here is the standard flood. I think this is on, which setting is this? Okay, so here is the lowest setting, and we'll work our way up. Whoops, accidentally hit the button. You can see pretty good as we wheel it up. We're lighting up more of the backyard. Yeah, it's getting pretty dang bright right there. Holy shit. Whole backyard, whole house, the whole front yard. I mean, it's like daylight out here, guys. I'm not even on turbo, I don't think. Let's see if there is a turbo. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to do that too long because I'm going to wake up like my wife. She's up in that bedroom sleeping. So here is the flood with the spotlight. Just to give you an idea, I'll dial that one all the way up and turbo it. There you go. Absolutely wild. Okay. Now we can mess with the spotlight. This one I can, show a little bit more because it's not going to wake up the whole neighborhood. So here you go. It's not reaching across the street at this point. You can see. we're not quite getting there. Dial it up one. Did I? There we go. Now it's a little wider and it's also brighter. You see we're kind of getting those trees over there, but barely. This tree, you can see this, the hot spot is very, very intense. I will say, having tested the Arkfeld, the ArkPros, that whole series, and now this, the LEDs are not bothering me. Normally I get like, I don't like them, you know, they have a green tint. They're too cool. They're too high on the, you know, color spectrum. And these have all been good, I think. So here's it right there. I'm going to dial it up some more. I always turn it off on accident. Dial it up some more. We're on 2 right now, so we're barely even cooking at this point. About to burn the top of those trees off. You can see over here we got the bat signal going. Lighting up that tree across the cul-de-sac. So I mean, that's a good, I don't know, 100 feet at least. I don't have a ton of space to go out. Let's go up to 3. Okay, now we're on 3. We're just getting more of that tree. This one over here is probably 150 feet or so. And I mean, that's crazy. I can see the whole roof line over there. Or tree line, sorry. So we're going to keep going. We are now on full brightness. And you can see, I mean, it is vivid over there, for me at least. Aim it up at the sky. I'm going to drop my phone, but, you know, wild. Sky is looking crazy tonight. Look at that. Let me just turn this off. See that? That's crazy looking. And then over here's that, like, northern lights looking craziness. It's like right above us now. That is about 100 feet. Now I'm gonna hit turbo here and see what happens. It gets a little more intense. That's crazy. Right here in front of us at the truck. I mean, that's hitting the headlight. That's crazy. So anyway, there you go, guys. That's the Mini Marauder beam shot. And yeah, I can't really do a distance test. I don't know how far I can go. Like, whoops, over there. I don't know how far those trees are. It's like really hard for me to tell. Let's see if I can get over this way. Sorry, I'm gonna get in the street and see if I can't get a straight shot of at least a few 100 feet. So straight down this way, like the side of that house down there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's lighting up those houses. I'm really not trying to piss people off, though. Go this way. You can see up onto those trees. Here's turbo. I mean, that is wild. So, yeah, I don't have much of an open space. See if I get over here. I mean, I can hit those trees. That's, you know, it's got to be 2 football fields, so at least 200 yards. I'm not sure what they list for candela / distance on this, but whatever it is, it's pretty slick. So there we go. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you in the desktop portion. Peace.